within the same day that I'm chasing a story on a company getting preempted for a $9 billion valuation without needing a drop of capital, I'm reporting on Cognition CEO offering
Hmm.
its staff buyouts because they're making sure that everyone in the ecosystem is working as hard as the employees that got there before. So very much like on any given day, I'm covering layoffs to preemptions,
Right.
and it very much feels like everyone is kind of running around. But
Right.
yeah, Akash, to your point about 2 years ago, it really felt like founders would not admit pivots on the record. And here we are. We have Howie, the CEO and co-founder of Airtable, admitting we were scared of being dinosaurs. And I think that's a very powerful moment that is worth saying out loud.
And Airtable is not a small company. I mean, we're talking about well-established companies having these existential thoughts. Talk a little bit about, this is kind of, there are two sides to this story. One is the big tech companies worrying about the future of their business. And then you've got these startups that they're facing competition too. And it's kind of like everyone's in paranoia.
Totally. I mean, depending on who you talk to, you might hear about the zombies or the dinosaurs. And for me, like really where I would start this conversation is the companies that were born before AI native or the AI boom really became a thing that we cover all day, every day. And so when you think of Airtable, you think of a company that was actually the cream of the crop in Silicon Valley for a very long time. And you'd imagine my surprise when I was talking to a founder on the earlier stage say, if Airtable can pivot, so can I. And when I was digging, I ended up finding out that Airtable had actually pivoted to a version of a vibe coding
Hmm.
product where they were going to help its users be able to text prompt into creating what they say more enterprise ready apps than the cursors and lovables of the world. And to me, like I can barely, change the word that I start a bananagrams game with, let alone a company that is entirely pivoting after 12 years. And so I think you really see the older companies need to make a decision pretty fast. And if they want to grow 1% to 2% a year, or if they want to take their chance at a more explosive growth pattern, while earlier stage startups are still worried about OpenAI eating their lunch, Anthropic eating their lunch. And so
Right.
they have their own version of urgency. And that's a little bit vaguer. But in my eyes, that's a little bit more common in the land of startups. You're always working crazy hours. You're always thinking of existential risks. Those timelines have just really gotten compressed.